People often walked past Pirate's kennel and shook their heads. They would say it was sad that she had lived there for so long, then they moved on. What most people did not realize was that Pirate had already spent 7 long years in that shelter. 7 years of waiting, 7 years of being overlooked. Pirate stayed behind, quietly fading into the walls, never knowing if she would ever have a family to call her own. Pirate's biggest obstacle was her age.
Hi, pretty girl.
She was an older dog, and most people believed older dogs came with more problems and less joy. They worried about vet bills, slower walks, and short time together. Because of that, Pirate waited. Some staff even feared she might spend the rest of her life in the shelter. They did not want that future for her, but hope was growing thin. Jen's life was already full of change. She and her partner were both in the military, and she was preparing to be stationed in Hawaii. They had talked and agreed it was not the right time to adopt a dog. Still, Jen wanted to give back, so she began searching for shelters where she could volunteer. One day, while browsing the Oahu SPCA website, she looked through the dogs. Most were young or middle-aged. Then she saw Pirate. Her face was gray with age, and her ears stuck straight out in the sweetest way. Something about her stopped Jen in her tracks. Without realizing it, Pirate began to quietly claim space in her heart. The next day, Jen went to meet her. When she said she wanted to see Pirate, the staff looked stunned. No one ever asked about her. Pirate stood there, looking past people instead of at them, as if she had learned not to hope. Staff shared that Pirate seemed tired of life. That moment broke something open in Jen. She had just met this dog, but she already knew she wanted to make her happy.
Aren't you hungry?
Pirate was 11 and a half years old. She had spent more than half her life in a shelter. No one had ever tried to adopt her. She was the dog nobody wanted, yet she won Jen over completely and without effort.
Hi, girl. Hi, sweet girl.
Jen had recently arrived on the island and did not have a house yet. Pirate could not come home right away. Instead, Jen came to her. Every day, for months, she visited Pirate in her kennel. She went before work and after work. When the shelter closed, staff sometimes let her sit with Pirate anyway. For 2 months, they simply existed together. Finally, the day came. Jen was able to take Pirate home. It felt unreal. Pirate was getting her forever home at last.
Welcome home, sweetie. Welcome home, Pirate.
Once Pirate settled in, a new version of her began to appear. She grew brighter and more playful with each passing day. She acted more like a puppy than a senior dog. The family lovingly called her their old lady baby. She ran to the door and wagged her tail every time Jen came home. That joy meant everything. Pirate experienced many firsts. She laid on a couch. She went to the beach. She had zoomies for the very first time.
Oh, donut? Popping some wheelies?
Birthdays and holidays became special events because Jen wanted Pirate to feel celebrated, maybe for all the moments she had missed. Watching Pirate transform became one of the most rewarding experiences of Jen's life. Pirate had not needed much. She simply needed a family. After waiting so long, she finally had everything she had been missing. Jen often wished more people would give dogs like Pirate a chance. Age did not take away Pirate's ability to love or feel joy. It did not matter whether they had 3 years together or 3 days. What mattered was making every moment count. Sometimes Jen wondered if Pirate remembered her past, but she knew this part of her life would stay with her forever.
Is that your bed? Is that bed for you?
If this story warmed your heart, please like the video, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe for more stories like this. Pirate reminds us that love is not limited by age. If you are thinking about adopting an older or special animal, take time to learn their needs, listen to experts, and be sure you are ready to love them fully, even if the time together feels too short.